So hello everyone, apologies for the technical difficulties, but we are finally here. Welcome back to Nukeshot Media for round 2 of Pro Split of Nukeshot Endurance Series Season 6. As you might have been able to tell by now, qualifying has gotten underway for the GT category. I am your host, Nukeshot Zokeo. Unfortunately, Mika has been taken sick, so no co-commentator here today. Hello already to Sota, to CJ, and to Mr. Huizen, also known as Martin, in the chat. Nice having you guys along. GT's just over half their qualifying time done. Of course, 10 minutes. You can see in the bottom left corner the amount of time that has elapsed so far. We're at the Nürburgring on the GP circuit, the Grand Prix F circuit full. As the Joe 2 guy goes into the pits, no doubt for a fresh set of rubber. These guys burn through a lot of rubber very quickly in order to get the optimal amount of lap time. Oh, I wish we could get Martin in the booth, but unfortunately he's got rid of his PS4 from what I recall him saying. But that would have been a fantastic addition. Nevertheless, good having you in chat, Martin. Swablu also exiting the pits. It is currently a TSR 1, 2 and 3. The main team first and second, Joe heads Swablu, while the Oreo car of Tomsoft, Simpact X Oreo, they are currently in third with a just under 5/10 gap to fourth place, which is currently Y-Bear, and winner last time out in Pro Split, it was Fred Dude. So Fred Dude currently in 5th. He's of course got +3 ballast. I believe Joe has +1. And who was it that was +2? I shall find this out for you. +2 for Pro Split. It was D-Luck, and D-Luck is currently in 7th. He's currently a 10th and a half off of AXR Group, who is in 6th. So we're coming up to what will be the last few laps. These guys will probably be able to get in one more. These guys got to watch the pit entry. We do have rules about the white lines, and that was evidence there. Unfortunately, D-Luck caught out by our cameras. The issue then comes is, without co-commentator Joe in the booth this time around, it's going to be difficult to monitor those pit entry lines for everyone equally. So we'll see what the studs decide regarding that. Those do of course apply to qualifying as well, as more cars are exiting the pits. Not crossing the exit line. Good on D-Luck there. It seemed also that Group exited the pits, so they're timing this to get one last run. It is still currently a TSR 1-2 with the Oreo car in 3rd. The BMW M6, very strong downforce car and very strong at this particular track. I recall being where I took my first DRL DTM win in the M6. So if I can win in it, anything's possible, as Joe goes purple in Sector 1, going through the Mercedes arena. Will Swablu be able to stop him? He is in technically the lighter car, because Joe's the one that had the ballast from finishing 3rd last time out at Monza. If you did miss that, be sure to watch the streams back on the channel after this one, of course. Indeed, look at that, nearly 2/10 up in Sector 2 as they make their way through the Schumacher S, going uphill, all about the torque. We're approaching that time. Will Tomsoft be able to get across the line again? We're gonna have to see. It's gonna be close. Just having to also do my race directing duties. I think he just scrapes it. Yep, Tomsoft does indeed make it onto another lap. As, who was that just crossed the line? That was Y-Bear. It seemed that they may have improved a bit. Indeed, only a 10th down off of Tomsoft. As Groot, they smack into the wall. As actually Groot gets displaced a bit, as Fred Dude does jump up into 3rd place with a 153.625, splitting the TSR trio. As I believe Tomsoft is the only one left on a lap. As someone has actually parked at the final corner, Coca-Cola. Not sure who that is at this time. Is it D-Luck? It is D-Luck, okay. Well, everyone else is parked up. Let's go on board with Tomsoft, making his way up the hill. Finding his braking marker nicely. Quite a lot of camber on these corners here at the Nürburgring GP track. You can carry quite a bit of speed, and it also allows for multiple racing lines. You can see mid-apexes, late apexes, cutbacks, all sorts. Here's another good overtaking opportunity to look out for in the race, the NGK chicane. That was a tongue twister and a half. Coming through the final corner, there you see D-Luck on the outside. What will this time be? It's not going to be an improvement, no. Here are your times. It was indeed the Joe2 guy who was fastest in the end with a 153.415. And I am still typing using the controller. Let me just send this screen. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties we've been having today. A lot of things have been falling apart, but nevertheless... he's gone into the pits. What is he doing? Here he is, our pole sitter. TSR Joe 2 guy. Illusion not answering, unfortunately, so it looks like we could only see 3 LM cars here today. But we did see fantastic dueling with just 2 in the M-split race at Monza, which was last week. And we'll be able to watch this upcoming LM qualifying session from start to finish rather than joining halfway through. And you also see the Nürburgring roller coaster just over there. How novel. Not quite packed grandstands here today, of course, social distancing being enforced. Only those within their own respective bubbles allowed to sit close together. Pro Split Round 1 had more than 2 cars, CJ. It did. Alright. So it's more of an emphasis point that I was making with that. Here we go then. LM qualifying. Where we have... Tom... Why is Tomsoft on the track again? I have no idea what's going on with that. Splurge is interestingly going for the Racing Soft compound of tyres. My bad. What a peasant. So maybe Splurge is thinking they'll be a little bit faster on those because it allows for a bit more slip. Though you'd think that'd be more of an issue for the 4-wheel drive cars, such as the hybrids. He's allowed CJ to go ahead of him. He also seems to be letting TKS by. It's a bit of a different livery on that Peugeot 908 of Splurge. Here's CJ, letting TKS go by again. Much the same that Splurge did. Was that a new helmet, CJ, with the Olympiakos? logo. Nice. And no, don't type in the chat while you're driving. That's the last thing we need. Please let Splurge go by. These guys do have a limited amount of time. I have no idea why they keep swapping around and such. Nürburgring GP, as you can tell by the layout, is a very technical circuit. Very sort of mid to low speed in quite a few areas. There are some straights, which will balance it out a bit, but we're expecting this to mainly be a hybrid circuit that will allow Mr. TKS to be in the pound seat, as it were. Illusion, he's not responding to CJ probably asking where he is, so unfortunately Illusion isn't here. They might end up joining after the qualifying or something for the race, we'll have to see. So the cars going on to their first laps. Let's have an onboard lap then of the Nürburgring GP circuit. Lunging downhill into turn 1, there's a very steep elevation change right on the apex. Got to be careful that doesn't unsettle the car. You're making your way through the Mercedes arena. You see the sunset in the background. All about rhythm. Stick to the left as much as you can to not compromise your run through this right, and then onto this short straight. Going into sector 2, you're faced with a 90-degree left, followed by a slight tighter right. Again, the camber, there you see it. And also to look out for taller curbs than normal around here at the Nürburgring. Much similar to, I suppose, the curbs that they have on the Nordschleife in places. Not quite as bad, but you can use them to the advantage, such as, there you see, getting on that outside curb on corner entry for the Schumacher S helps the car turn in a bit better. Continuing uphill, more decently banked corners, good speed carried, and again the acceleration, look at the miles an hour increase as the hybrid system deploys on this TS050. And then coming up to the NGK chicane, 100 meter board is your marker, then straight line it as much as you can within track limits. Careful getting on the throttle again. And then Coca-Cola, make sure you miss the pit entry wall. We've seen many accidents happen there. Nice flat exit curbs, and that is a lap. 1 minute 40.505 for Mr. TKS. What can Splurge do to respond? He's 2 seconds down. 142.515. Crazy John. He's got himself a bit of space to work with here. What's it going to be? It's not going to be fast enough. It's the 142.019. So as expected, the hybrid TS050 having a very strong advantage. I have no idea. Piolo, T5, Stig, all the other TSR lot, they aren't here unfortunately. They didn't sign up. Probably preoccupied with their iRacing exploits. As all clipping the gravel. There you saw Mr. TKS making a bit of a mistake. Going through the Schumacher S. It's through probably that sector, sector 3, but the non-hybrids are going to be at their best. Possibly sector 4 as well. But there are some acceleration zones in there from low speed that will catch out some of those, with of course the hybrid system not being there, as gravel is scattered across the circuit. Interesting tactics there by Crazy John. Very interesting indeed, as Splurge enters the pit lane. No improvement that time around, 141.794 it was there for TKS. Significantly slower. We're up to 10 viewers currently on stream. Nice having you guys along. Hello to CRM Roland. Nice seeing you making your return. And of course, hello to D-Luck. Hello to John Wandering. Good to see you, lad. I'm not 100% sure if I actually said hello to Tom Soft, but hello. CJ has closed down that gap quite a bit. It's a 141.142. So he's within within 7/10, just over 6/10 of Mr. TKS, which was a very good feat by CJ. He is also carrying 3% extra weight because he was, of course, the race winner last time out at Monza. What a race that was. Of course, I believe it was TKS who has +2. Let me quickly double check that. Where is it? TKS. Yep, TKS is on +2, Splurge is on +1 for this. So Splurge perhaps underperforming a bit at the moment. As into the pits goes TKS, he's going to be expecting some fresh rubber on his car. There you see the Toyota Gazoo Racing pit crew. Hello to Hayden in the chat. Nice having you along, someone new. You probably tell me that, I don't know, you're someone that I've got signed up on the series already or something like that, that I just don't recognise the real name of, but nevertheless, nice having you along, Hayden. The more the merrier, as we say. 1:40.505 is still the benchmark. CJ also into the pits, and actually, I've just finally caught on as to why Splurge was that fair bit slower. He was on the regular softs, wasn't he? We said that as he came out the pits the first time at the start of the session, but now he's improving because he's on the supers. Honey, where are my super softs? Top banter here on the Nukeshot Media YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Oh dear. Oh yeah, the pit exits and stuff. It's difficult to keep them monitored through qualifying because there are multiple cars, of course. There's more gravel being picked up, and that's a penalty. That's a fair point. Another talking point. In-game track limit penalties are returning after they were off for Monza, because of course the manual track limit review. So Splurge just overstepping the mark. Also you can see the fog here today at the Nürburgring GP circuit. Very thick from some of our long distance camera lenses. All three of these guys are going to probably get onto an extra lap. Splurge, what can they do? So 142.474, that is... Whew, that's not even half a tenth faster than their regular soft time, so maybe they made a mistake, maybe they're just pushing more this time around. Crazy John and TKS both making their way towards the Mercedes arena, into it now. Oh, his number doesn't seem to work correctly. Oh, indeed. Splurge, I said this in the livery regulations. There's a tutorial that allows the above car number to display the actual number on the side. That was a nice camera view there to use the cursor. Well, hopefully we'll get that fixed eventually. Hello to the Flying Welshman. That's our good friend Lynx, one of the many that we've had in the commentary booth already this season. Right, Splurge, what can he do? Look at that, 1.3 seconds up. This is a lot closer than I originally thought. He's actually on track to beat CJ if he gets this lap together. CJ also up, but he's got a penalty. And TKS, I can't quite tell if he's improving at the moment. Splurge, he's about to come across the line. What kind of time can he set? He goes second at 1:40.642. TKS will be the next to cross the line. The hybrid dragging him out the final corner. He goes even faster, 140.421. And CJ, he can't take second place back. He doesn't quite improve on his last time. He's going to have to settle for third, 5/10 down. He must have made a mistake in that final sector because we saw he was green at the end of sector 3. But that is going to be Mr. TKS taking the pole position by only 0.2 of a second. We could yet see a fight on our hands. Screenshot incoming. Okay, there we go. We're now into the break period. This will last a few minutes or so. People have made real life pit stops. Whether that's to get a beverage, to go to the bathroom, who knows. Anyway, if you're enjoying the content so far here on Nukeshot Media, again be sure to leave a like. We'll have the race underway relatively shortly. Only a few minutes or so away. Nice having you guys all along. Currently at 10 viewers. Everything seems to be settling down a bit after the chaos of all the technical issues we had. Thanks again to Joe for being, of course, the host of the lobby and directing these guys as to what to do, such as joining the track so he can set the grid. Hopefully no deaths in the formation lap. Well, we won't have a safety car exploiting track limits on the formation lap. Cough cough CJ. Oh, that one, I'm never gonna let you live that one down. That was some top tier memery. The first track limit violation being the safety car. Lights out and Lewis Hamilton. I don't think he's here today. Although he does actually have a very interesting line going through the Dunlop hairpin, which is here. What he does is he brakes very late, misses what you'd think would be the initial apex, but then because of the banking he cuts back to get a very good exit, making his way up through the Schumacher S and such. We might be able to see some of these guys do something very similar today. There are multiple lines on these banked corners at the Nürburgring. It's just funny, isn't it, CJ? That's all it is. Oh dear. Top tier. Top tier is the phrase of the day, apparently. Have a drink every time I say that. There's always at least one phrase that I end up saying far too often. Here's Wybear. I forget where he qualified, but he's on track. He recently graduated to the Pro SRF license, actually. So well done to him for making that achievement. I believe there's not even 10 people yet that have reached that status within the Sim Racing Federation. So good on him. Bigging up Nukeshot Motorsport in the RCZ, of course. And look, I actually managed to get the number 16 to work, Splurge. Oh dear. We have fun. Here's D-Luck in the Paradox Sim Sport Supra. Plenty of S's to go around. Nice addition of green onto that helmet of his as well. Car number 4. Had a very strong showing last time out at Monza. We'll see if he can do some kind of a repeat of that. The Indeed is not going to be the word of the day. I'm probably going to end up making it the word of the day, but we'll see. The grid is set. I'm going to quickly check. CJ has said BRB. I'm going to do an everyone ready. Let's see how that goes. I mean, everyone's on the track at least. I'm not the one drinking, it's just the viewers. Besides, I don't actually have a drink here today. I finished off with ginger beer, which was going to be today's sponsor, unofficially of course. But I've already finished off the can before we started the broadcast. No Radish, you will not have the drink today. Oh, CJ, look at this. He's going on the medium compound of tyres. I'm the worst snitch here. That's kind of my job as a commentator. Who is this guy? Does this guy work for Distinct Esports? Let us know in the chat. Oh, the banter. What a madman. Okay, only 2 people are ready. CJ's not yet. Okay, fair enough. Or fair enough. The most reasonable ruler of Egypt, as we say. So, predictions. Can we have some predictions in the chat before we get things underway here for the race? We've already seen who's strong, who's perhaps not so. Oh, these peasants doing the YMCA in the chat. The lobby chat, that is. Someone will spin is the prediction there from Lynx. Well, you are one of the commentators, so hopefully there's no curse of the commentator. I will say indeed again. Well, me just then has indeed confirmed that prediction, so well done. There are no prizes, but well done nevertheless. Here we see again our pole sitter, car number 7, Mr. TKS. He will actually be bringing a teammate in the form of TNR Philo later into the season. Philo unfortunately having to miss the first couple of races. Might be here next time around in 2 weeks' time. But they'll further bolster that Toyota Gazoo Racing team in the Teams Championship. Always helps to have more than one car in the Teams Championship. Funny that. There will be a very established Royalton moment. John Wandering will win the race despite not even being in the lobby. That is incredible scenes. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, John Wandering, so to just saying in chat, he's actually not done his placement test fully yet. He was ill at the time. There was some, I think motion sickness or something like that. So hopefully he'll be feeling a bit better soon. Of course, John, you're more than welcome to join. And of course your, I guess former teammate, your American colleague Amuda, getting a 2nd place in Monza last time out, last week. That was in AM Split, of course. Fantastic result for him. D-Look just getting some extra practice laps in, as some of these guys are doing. As Tomsoft is going to be disqualified for whatever peasantry that was that I just saw. Just because I can do stuff like that. Oh, look at this. Just because he's on camera. I don't know. That's a nice font actually for numbers. Is that like an American football kind of style font? Whatever that is, that's cool. Like the kind of font you see on like sport jerseys. Oh dear. Martin ridiculing his TSR teammate in the chat. You guys do keep me entertained. while we wait for everyone to be ready. I do promise there will be a race today. And TKS doing his best Tom Soft impression. Oh, look at this, he's parked up next to these guys. TKS to TSR confirmed. Oh, someone take a screenshot of this. Is CJ ready? Or is he still being chronically obese? Who knows? He's not even typing yet, so I assume he's not. Why is a mood joining? A mood. Look, I'm a commentator. I'm the race director. I'm the series organizer. I can't be dealing with another level of peasantry by this guy joining. But it would seem, at very long last... Hold on, I'm gonna do another at everyone ready. Just to make sure. Because other people might not be ready. Again, can we have some more predictions in the chat before we get things underway? We're in round 2 of the season, and this peasantry is... Can I get some Fs in the chat for me and my predicament? Leave a like on my behalf. We're already at 7 apparently, that's incredible. Resend the chat real quick. Thanks there, Links. I appreciate that. Here we go then. It is time. It's the Formation Lap Grand Prix. Just kidding. It is Nukeshot Endurance Series Season 6 Pro Split Round 2. On pole position we have TKS, followed by Splurge and CJ making up the LMs. Joe 2 Guy took pole position in the GTs, followed by teammates Swablu, Fred Dude, Tom Soft, Y-Bear, Groot and D-Luck. I'm just gonna roll through these again. It's 100 km/h, GT 80 km/h. Here we go then! 2 safety cars. We haven't had one yet so far this season, not even at Monza. We had some incidents at Monza, but nothing warranting a safety car, or even anyone calling for the safety car, really. Only damage was done in single car incidents. Just checking some more of the chat. 84 years. Oh, come on, lads. Each LMP will bottle the race at least once. That is what happened last time in M-Split at Monza, to be fair. It was an interesting race. Definitely check it out after the stream. Here it is then, TKS, Splurge of the Arrows Racing Team, the updated Golf livery, and the distinct esports livery of Crazy John. And the GTs, of course. I'm gonna say double up after the chicane. Apologies for the camera work again. Odds will be on the right, because that is the inside. Sending questions to the stewards. And no, you're not allowed questions. Okay, here we go. The LMs are about to get underway. They can restart pretty much anywhere now. The restart zone has begun. As here we go then, TKS has launched it from the lead. Will there be any challenge from CJ going into turn 1? No, it doesn't look like it, but I'm gonna have to say GT double up if they're not already. Apologies again for the camera work, race directing and such. So they're sticking together pretty much. Here is the GT start. So it seems immediately Swablu is slotting into the slipstream. Will we see any kind of moves from these guys going into turn 1? Ooh, Fred Dude looking for something. As actually we are seeing Groot move up the order a bit. Looking to go to the inside of Tomsoft. It looks like Tomsoft will just about fend off that position. Some of these guys are running a bit wide. Track limits are enforced by Polyphony this time around. As Law again looking to the inside, Tomsoft. Now hopefully that's the last of the race direction for now. Oh! As CJ goes off a little bit into the gravel. We just caught the end of that. Okay, these guys starting to space out a bit more, so we're going to stick with GTs. Going into the Dunlop hairpin. Now, watch the contrasting lines as they make their way through the Schumacher S. There you see, mounted that outside, that entry curb, in order to get the turn in. Very good work there by the Joe 2 guy. These top 3 are starting to get a little bit of a gap over Tomsoft in 4th. There you see Fredwood all over the bumper of Swablu. Swablu just clipping the gravel. Oh, look at the fog as well. So we're just swapping through some of the cameras again at the moment. A bit further back, Groot. There you see they're currently 5th in category. 6th and 7th for D-Look and Wybear respectively. Could we see a challenge perhaps from Swablu this time around into turn 1? It doesn't look quite like it. He's not quite close enough. Perhaps he's just going to work with his teammate to get a gap over Fred Dude, as Fred Dude actually has picked up a 0.5 second penalty for corner cutting. Over to the LMs. Gap is being extended now by TKS. That hybrid is giving him the advantage at the moment, and Splurge is starting to get a little bit of a gap over CJ, it would seem as well. So it's just trains at the moment. Everyone's following the trains, including CJ. As we could be seeing something here for 2nd in LM. CJ has already picked up a penalty as well, 0.9 seconds. That was probably 1 second. He served a little bit of it. Penalties not really a concern this early into the race, unless you really start racking them up. You've got to be careful with these track limits. CJ notorious for being very close to the track limits most of the times, so a lot easier for him to overstep those barriers. Going into the NGK chicane for the GTs. There you see the curb hopping. And the top 4 seem to have a bit of a gap over the rest of the field at the moment. Okay, you see the gaps starting to emerge a bit. It looks like we could have a bit of a challenge on our hands. We're going rear wing cam. Is Swablu rather, not Tomsoft, going to be making a challenge? No, not quite. Again, contrasting lines making their way towards the Mercedes arena. Now it is pretty much single file through here. Everyone, after round 1, seemingly happy to just find a rhythm, feeling the rhyme, getting on up, and CJ is somehow into second. Okay, so that must have been a mistake, or maybe just a pass. We'll see if we can catch it. Here it is then. Replays going up to the NGK chicane. Did Splurge just outbrake himself? Or did the curb just spit him out awkwardly? It did. There you see it. Good recovery to not completely loop it, so he's still in the fight. But the gaps are starting to increase once again. Muda has left. Sad times. The gap between first and second, 3.1 seconds. That hybrid really coming into good effect. No real position changes since lap 1 that I can tell. Besides that one, of course. None in the GTs. Now these guys at TSR, they won't be doing team orders this early in the season, you would think. As is evident, now Swablu goes to the inside, he's late on the brakes. I think Joe's gonna get the cut back on him. No, Swablu does take the lead, going into the Mercedes arena. Great move by TSR Swablu. As Tomsoft is fighting their way up into third place. Trying to get back at Fred. Does he manage to keep it? He does indeed. So Fred Dude demoted to fourth place. TSR cars first, second and third once again in the GT category. But look at how close Fred Dude is able to follow. But he's racking up the penalties again, 1.6. Let's see if we can see quite what happened here. Here's an onboard from Tomsoft's car. So, it seemed a little bit of contact with Joe, as Fred Dude was perhaps looking to go to the inside, and that allowed Tomsoft to make a move stick. It was side by side through the Mercedes arena, but the Mercedes had the inside for that particular part and was able to shut the door. As a bit further back, I believe we have a little bit of dueling, do we? Between Y-Bear and D-Look. Oh, a little bit of contact! D-Look going into the gravel. Y-Bear putting the pressure on. These guys, of course, have been teammates for quite a while in other series. I recall them being teammates in GTMES for quite a long time, only splitting up in season 14. So they know how they drive, each other drives. D-Look looking to defend that inside line. Do they go back? Nope, they realise they're going to have to force Y-Bear into a mistake. He sends it around the outside! Oh, there's more of a coming together. Oh, and D-Look's round! D-Look is round! Has he stayed out the wall? And TKS is coming through to lap them. Oh, we're going to have to see this one again. Oh, this was really unfortunate. There it was, there's the initial tap, and there is just a domino effect. Oh, that is not what you want to see. Meanwhile, the LMs, of course, making their way through the traffic. 5 seconds TKS has now over the rest of them. Not quite to the lead pack of them GTs just yet, but getting there. As actually, I've just checked, Fred Dude is back ahead of Tomsoft. I'm not quite sure where that happened. It must have been when we cut away, so apologies for that. So although it's perhaps a bit more calmer than we've seen as of lately, there are still things happening. Just perhaps at a little bit of a slower pace at the moment, but the race still plenty of time to go. Plenty of time for it to develop, as I think TKS may have had a little bit of a mistake as they went through the NGK chicane. Blue flags there being waved by the marshals. Flash of the lights as well from TKS. Now the GTs are to hold a predictable racing line. There's contact! Is there damage? No, no damage to TKS. Was there damage actually to Fred Dude? No, it was a very lucky escape by those guys. The closing speed, the GTs have a lot of mechanical grip, and that evidently caught Fred Dude out with that closing speed. Synchronized flag rating. We do have very well-trained marshals here in the Nukeshot Endurance Series. You should have seen them pre-season. Well, here comes CJ, making their way through the GTs for the first time of asking. Oh! Having to back off a little bit, going through the Shumi S. There is pretty much no way of getting past through there. It requires a lot of cooperation from a GT. So CJ would have lost quite a bit of time. And again, catching the GTs on corner exit, that's not exactly what you want to happen. Goes to the inside, just about covers off. Gets by Swablu, who is still the GT race leader. Oh, CJ! He's sliding about! He's right on the ragged edge. We've got to think about tyre life as well. Because we know, at least in the past, CJ has been burning out his tyres very quick with the Alpine. It seems to be a bit more balanced here now. Just doing a few comparisons here and there. Here is Splurge, he's 2.3 seconds down, nearly 2.4. Comes down again through here. You can still see CJ up the road, which is crucial. Gives him something to work towards. Visual reference point, if you will. A bit further down the order, Weiber has, of course, got ahead of D-Luck because of that unfortunate accident earlier on. That will be an interesting one to look at for the stewards, because it seemed, at least, there's probably more to it than we have seen, so keep that in mind. I am a steward, but we require replay footage and all sorts. But it at least seemed that D-Luck may have made the initial contact. We'll have to see. Going a bit further up the road, Tomsoft looking to re-challenge Fred Dude. Fred Dude, 2.1 seconds is their penalty at the moment. They keep on going out of track limits in trying to keep up the pace. They might be trying to wait until they make their pit stop to serve it on pit exit or something of that effect. Because that can be quite an effective way of serving a penalty. Look, we'll see. We will see. The stewards will take as long as they need. To the inside goes Tomsoft. What a send that was by the Mercedes. Has to leave room on the outside for the Hyundai of Fred. Looks like Fred will have the inside line this time around. How the turns have tabled. But the Mercedes will get the inside here. There's more contact between them. They're leaning on each other going through the Mercedes arena. Fred Dude just about staying ahead. That's the kind of racing we like to see. Wheel to wheel. Little bit of onion barges at times, but all completely fair. Fred does indeed have 3% ballast, so it is very impressive as he just understeered a little bit and has allowed Tomsov to get a very solid run and makes the overtake even before he gets to the Dunlop hairpin. And then you see that later apex that I was on about, the Lewis Hamilton line that he shows in the DLC and the track guides and stuff for the Nürburgring. So a bit further up the road, there is Splurge. 1.9 seconds is the gap. And on the straights, it seems the Peugeot has the edge. It's making quite a bit of time over the Alpine. Of course, there are ballast differences as well, with CJ having +3. Oh, but no, Splurge! Oh! Bit of stage fright, perhaps, from being on camera. Just makes that mistake and the gap has gone up to 3.8, nearly 4 seconds. It seems to have just about stabilised at around 4.1 or so. The Alpine very good in the corners. Was that curse of the commentator? Quite possibly. Yeah, we might, who knows, we might still have safety cars. At the moment everything is a lot calmer than normal. Is it the calm before the storm? Oh, again, I keep apologising. There's so much going on. Tomsov has got back ahead of Fred Dude. Never mind, we already saw that. My head. Oh dear. Who'd be a commentator, eh? Hey, at least I managed to catch the action this time. Working the cameras as well. Jack Wilkinson is our man behind the cameras, but I'm the one that's doing the switching between said cameras. Big up to Jack Wilkinson on the cam as always. 3.7 seconds and closing a little bit. It's going up again now between Wybear and Groot. Now of course the GTMES season is over. A lot of these guys that have been in GTMES have a bit more free time to practice and such. That of course does include the, at the moment, very dominant Joe 2 guy and Swobbler. .7 is the gap between second and third in the LM category. What's the gap between first and second? Just over 10 seconds. Let's see the tyre wear between these guys then. We expect the hybrid, because it deploys quite a lot here, to be wearing out the fronts quite significantly. Everyone's relatively even for tyre wear, except for the rears on TKS. Those are looking in good condition. Perhaps less of the pressure being put on them because of the hybrid as well. And the gap continuing to increase. It was around 11 seconds momentarily. So we're going to switch back to the GTs. Swobbler has 1.5 of a gap over their teammate. But the interesting thing now is the battle for second, because now that he's past Fred Dude, he's started to build a bit of a gap to him. Tomsov is now looking to make a challenge on the Joe 2 guy. Could he do it here? Going into the Dunlop hairpin? No, he backs out of it for now. Amuda saying we need a safety car with 10 minutes to go. How about a competition caution? How does that sound? Oh, Joe nearly going into the gravel at the Schumacher S. Managing to hold on. As what on earth is going on here? I think there was some lappery being done. D-Look being lapped by TKS. So we'll cut back to this battle for now. Rear wing cam on the Joe 2 guy's BMW M6 GT3. Coming up to the NGK chicane. Because Tomsoft does have the added motivation of it being their home race. Into the pits? Into the pits? Already? Oh, all of the TSR cars are coming into the pits. They're going for... I can only assume a 2-stop? Actually, on fuel, I think most people are going to do a 2-stop. But this could even be a 3-stop. No. No, it will be a 2-stop for them. So that's allowing some of these other guys to stay out. Maybe stretch to a 1-stop. It'd be interesting to see if any of these guys actually are on the regular softs as opposed to the supers. Fred Dude is there. Swablu. Nope, so no one is taking my strategy advice. The regular softs you'd at least think would last a little bit longer, but they can have a bit more slip in them. As Splurge is the first of the LMs into the pits. There you see the Arrows crew preparing to make their tyre change and fuel. Eventually. Into the pits once again. For the first time. Out of the pits. Now make sure they don't cross the white line. Well done. Those ones can be checked post-race because we have the replay for that. We don't have the replay for qualifying, which is sad. CJ still the 0.7 to serve, but plenty of time in the race to do so. 13 seconds the gap, so it keeps growing. Splurge Pad's just looking to get a bit of an undercut to try and catch CJ. CJ might try and respond in kind, especially given that they're starting to catch the GT traffic again. Fred Dude comes into the pits. He's covering off what the TSR guys are doing, as is Groot. So he stayed out one lap longer. Here you see the Hyundai of Starscream Enterprises into pits then. Nice fancy tyre change. A little bit of fuel. Where will they rejoin at? They're going to rejoin pretty much where they were. I'm surprised these guys aren't taking on that much fuel. Unless that was a misclick. Perhaps not. These guys are happy. Oh, and there's contact. We saw that in the background. I think that was... Who was that? It wasn't CJ. It looked like... Was it the two TSR cars coming together? MD, could we have the first safety car? Joe has damage. I'm gonna have to check this. Joe has that, and who's fourth? Swablu. It's 2 points of damage. I believe we need 3 for a safety car. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say still green. Actually, wait, hold on, no, I need to check what actually happened first. Was it the LM coming through? It might have been TKS. It must have been TKS. Did TKS pick up damage? If he picked up any damage, then we go safety car. It was lag. It was lag. Unfortunately, we can't have a safety car for that. So Joe, unfortunately, has been taken out of the race. No doubt he will be fuming. So there's going to be plenty of controversy for that. That is just how I do my race directing. And at the end of the day, it was just one car that had the damage. So we can't really throw a safety car to shuffle everyone. If it was multiple cars, then yes. Actually, yeah, that's the normal thing. Multiple cars getting damaged, that tends to be part of that as well. Oh, but that is so tragic for the Joe 2 guy. And he only just came out the pits. Look at that. He had maybe one clean lap before he picked that up. Ah, he's flashing the lights. Joe, I'm sorry. I had to review it and it didn't come up safety car by my race director standards. No doubt TKS will be potentially getting a penalty. It's difficult to tell because there was lag involved. And normally when there's lag involved, it's very difficult to actually give a penalty. But we'll have to see what the stewards decide. But 17 seconds is the gap between first and second in the LMs. A further 18 seconds back to Splurge, who's on the start-finish straight. It is Swablu now with a 4.2 second lead, now that their teammate has been taken out under unfortunate circumstances. Swablu himself has actually got a 0.2 second penalty. A bit of a way to serve that. Tomsoft, they are in second, and Fred Dude is crucially for them on the podium as things stand. 1.9 seconds to serve. Wybear is actually in 7th, so they've managed to get ahead of Groot somehow. Apologies for the camera flipping there. I've lost which was 8, 9 and 0 and such. But yeah, that's an interesting call. Was that because of fuel being taken on there by the Hyundai? You know, the Hyundai burns through fuel a bit faster. I'm not seeing how, unless Groot made a mistake. And yeah, the lag would have been the reason why TKS didn't get damaged there, because Joe didn't hit him on his screen. But there you see, the gap is starting to close down again. That Hyundai looking spicy fast. .2 is the gap between them. 7th and 8th in overall. We've got 4th and 5th in category. How far back is Joe from D-Log? 13 seconds. Well, he'll at least be trying to get a bit of a recovery drive. We of course know D-Log was involved in an accident. He's going to have to do something very clever to make up that time. Maybe go long on strategy now. I'm surprised he might have changed up the strategy after that. I don't know. It looked like he may have took fresh tyres even though he had only had them on for 2 laps. But they're still super soft, so that would indicate he's still on the same strategy. Namuda, no, don't do that. We don't need a safety car. What? Look, we don't need a non-race director calling the safety car there. As far as I know, I'm maybe one of maybe 2, maybe 3 people that has race directed with actual safety cars and such. It's up to debate. By my in-race ruling, that wasn't safety car worthy. As unfortunate as it is, of course, for Joe, I'm not saying that, of course, that wasn't the case. CJ exiting the pits for the distinct team. Is that their second stop? Wait, hold on. Did they repair damage in that? No, okay. Maybe it didn't seem like it. That was odd. Unless that was just their first stop. They're in traffic now. 1.3 of penalty. And interestingly, they've gone for the racing softs, so try and go long on this particular stint. So it would seem. The blue flags are just there to let the GTs know that there is an LM car coming up, not to tell them to get out of the way entirely. The whole predictable racing line thing. Oh, look at that for camera work. CJ to the inside of GT race leader Swablo. And Splurge in second from all of this. If someone could perhaps check the stream back just to see if CJ had already made a pit stop before that one that we just saw, that might be quite useful. Because at least in the past, as many stops as you like was pretty much the protocol for Nürburgring. And of course, with the plus 10 seconds that have been added to the pit deltas for pretty much every track, that's gone out the window almost. He did? Okay. Thanks for saying, Dredger. Wybear up to fourth? He is up to fourth, isn't he? Here he is. 3.4 is the gap between them and Group. Although that is some very interesting track limits there. I will say that. The game's not counting that. Right. Oh, that's a slight issue. Yeah, Mika has unfortunately died. Rest in peace, Mika. Again, starting to gain a bit through these faster sectors, more gravel being kicked up. As CJ has just set the new fastest lap of the race, 140.567. That's a bit unexpected, unless that was what he was just trying to do. That would be a very odd thing to do at this stage in the race, given he still had second on the cards. It's not a Fanta-related injury as far as I know. Or illness. Can we actually have some F's in chat for Mika? I'm sure he'll appreciate it. I'm sure he'll also appreciate you leaving a like on the stream. And a subscribe, of course. As always. Someone else is coming into the pits. Who's that? That is race leader TKS coming into the pits. He had 24 or so seconds on Splurge, but we'll see where he filters out. He might actually be able to... Will he be able to get away with getting out before Splurge comes up? It'll be close. It'll be very close, in fact. It's fueling up, fueling up. I think Splurge has got him. Yep. Splurge has gone through into the lead of the race, and there goes TKS. So is Splurge going for a bit of a longer, different strategy here? Maybe he's just going until the fuel tank's gone. He's been quite good on the tyres this stint. But there you see the looming TKS in the background. Fresh tyres, although they are regular soft, so I reckon that was probably TKS' last stop. He's fueled to the end. Indeed, Splurge is fighting CJ in terms of the bigger picture, although there's 16 seconds between them, and they've both made pit stops quite recently, so... Are they? I don't think they are anymore. I think Splurge has somehow managed to find... Oh wait, no, of course. I'm getting them confused again. Splurge does have to pit again because of the fuel. As to when that'll be, we'll have to find out. He might be extending this stint to get the fuel as low as possible, to keep the car as light as possible, and then to have a better tyre advantage towards the end of the race. Well, as Otis from Barnyard once said, perhaps. Oh wait, was that a bit of a slide? Swablu still with a comfortable lead. 1.8 seconds over TSR Tomsoft in the second TSR team, the Simpac X Ario car. It reminds me a lot of the Sugar Rush Performance cars that we used to see back in the good old days, a couple of years back now. And Fred Dude is very close behind. 1.7 seconds. And that's going down again. If he gets to slipstream range, we could have a battle of the ages between these two. We've already seen a little bit of scrapping between them. The Hyundai has a bit worse off for fuel. I think all these guys might have to pit again. We're 2/3 into the race. They're all thereabouts. Just looking at the counter. 5-lap safety car needed. It does take a while to cycle through the safety car procedure, by the way. So, if it happens near the end, we don't actually go safety car. That I know of. Let me quickly check. It's been a while since we've actually had a safety car, so I need to familiarise myself with these kind of procedures. What else has been going off on track? I believe the LMs are lapping the GTs again, and this has really allowed TKS to close up to the back of Splurge. Of course, we knew this would happen anyway. TKS diving to the inside. Gets that one to work quite nicely. Oh, look how late on the brake they are as well. And then that late cutback. Ooh, but a twitch on exit. We're going to go on board through the Schumacher S with Mr. TKS on their TSO 50. Toyota Gazoo Racing. There you see the Arrows car. At the end of the high speed sections, that is the faster car. It doesn't have a hybrid system, so it's balanced out by being faster on the straights. As Swablu goes into the pits from the GT lead. Interesting call. Tomsov stays out. Normally we see the TSR guys synchronized pretty much with their strategy. And we're still yet to see TKS actually get past Splurge. The dirty air seems to be holding them up a bit. They can't benefit that much in Slipstream because of course they don't have the power advantage or even similar power. Do you look into the pits as well? There you see Swablu in the background. I will cut back to this, don't worry. As look at this! Oh, little bit of onion barges. TKS looking to get a bit of a switchback, can't quite find it on this occasion. But here comes an acceleration zone. Watch the hybrid. There you see to the outside. Will Splurge defend it? He looks to defend it! And he does so! Splurge defends first place. It's all going to be in vain because he has to pit soon, but it's providing some fantastic entertainment nonetheless. TKS looking to the inside, but the Peugeot has the edge on the downhill as well. Now the hybrid getting the punch out the corner, but again the Peugeot very strong. Making their way through. There's traffic! Traffic holds up Splurge. That could be crucial. TKS looks to make their way through. I think Splurge will just about be able to get ahead again, but TKS looking to the inside. He has to think better of it. Tomsov meanwhile into the pits. It's all starting to heat up now. As soon as I say that, Splurge comes into the pits. He can't make the fuel last as we expected. Where's CJ in all this? He's 15 seconds back. He's going through the NGK chicane. He's got 2.4 of penalties. 2.9 even. He's got to serve quite a lot of this at some point. This is far from a done deal for him to get second. Is the Arrows crew. They're servicing the car now. CJ makes their way into second place. It's the fuel that's the crucial bit though for the Arrows guys. CJ is definitely fueled to the end. And the Arrows car only just getting out the pits now. It is quite a gap to be fair. Again, 15 seconds the other way this time. But Splurge does have the tyre advantage, as you can see. And he's played it safe with the fuel. And playing it safe with the fuel is what we found out was a very good idea at Monza last time for the GTs. So, let's catch up on what's been happening with the GTs actually. Fred Dude currently in the lead, although he probably has to pit. Yep, might be in at the end of this actually. Kicking up some gravel in the face of TKS, who's about to lap him. Gru is provisionally up to second. Swablu is first of the cars that have made their final pit stop, we believe. Unless Groot has gone under the radar. No, Groot does need to pit. Does Fred Dude come in? Fred Dude does come in. So the Starscream car making their way to their pit stop. Tomsov, they're also fueled to the end. Y-Bear, also good to go. Ninth, that's D-Look. They look A-OK to me. And then the Joe 2 guy. Joe actually, are they getting a bit close? Ooh, they are indeed. So Groot takes the lead as they stay out for a little bit longer. But Swablu does go up into second place. And third for Tomsov. Fred Dude, where do they rejoin? They rejoin comfortably in fourth. But we're going to have to check this out because the juiciness continues to unfold. On board now with the car of Team Simpac Racing. Number 27, the Joe 2 guy. BMW M6 GT3 twin turbo, I believe. So quite a good kick down the straights, not quite as much as the Supra it would seem. Supra has always been quite a good straight line speed car. And again, he's being patient here. He's worked down the gap, and he's managed to get himself within touching distance. Hopefully, of course, they don't touch. Let's see the tyre comparison. D-Look is a little bit more worn. His tyres, of course, not the person. Oh, Joe actually with a bit of a penalty, as has D-Look actually. Fascinating stuff. Now, will Groot come into the pits this time around, or do they stay out? Groot does indeed come into the pits. So this will allow Swablu to make their way around Coca-Cola and resume the lead of the race. I believe, again barring incidents, that there are no more stops to be made for the GTs, or possibly for anyone for that matter. Where does Groot rejoin? We're going to have to check in on him after we see the braking zone of the NGK chicane. It looks like Joe is sticking behind for now. He might be able to get a bit of a run on the straight, but again, the Supra, very strong. A bit more of a penalty for D-Look that time around. As Groot has rejoined in 5th place. I just counted that on my hand. I am so smart. Yep, 5th place in category. Still, Joe can't quite find their way to pass. Have they given up on perhaps getting close to Groot? Because there is 13 seconds between D-Look and Groot. So perhaps Joe thinks this is as high as he's going to get if he makes the pass on D-Look, of course. But he's not going to risk it. As CJ into the pits. What? Why is CJ into the pits? He's got fuel. He's letting Splurge go back past. This is insanity for CJ. He's going to be 15 seconds down. Does he want fastest lap back? But he's sacrificing more points. Because fastest lap is only 1 point. The difference between second and third is 2. And he's already got 3.5 second penalties. Does he really think I can close in? 8 or so laps to go. 10 seconds. It's got fresh rubber. And a decently light car now that the fuel's gone down. I'm dead certain he did have fuel, didn't he? Well, that's no use. Apologies, I've been focusing on other stuff. I must have missed it if he did refuel then. Oh, that's unfortunate for CJ that hasn't worked out, but he's got to get his head down. 10 seconds. He's got to make up. Although none of that seems to be coming down at the moment. What's been going off on the rest of the circuit? Here's our race leader, TKS. He's got a 30-second lead over Splurge. Of course, he is set to go to the end. Only 8 laps to go for him. He has the fastest lap of the race. It's a 1 minute 40.141. As that was a bit more juiciness, it would seem, between Joe and D-Look. Still very close together. Still no position swap between them. But they're about to be lapped. And it looks like TKS could catch them at the most awkward part of the track, the Schumacher S. Yeah, just about manages to get by. It's allowed Joe to close up quite significantly as D-Look was changing lines a bit. Is Joe just biding his time? Oh, it doesn't look like it, does it? He was looking for that move. He wasn't content with sticking behind. As looking to break the slipstream just a little bit. Making their way towards turn 1. Again, the Supra extremely strong. I know Joe tends to make his setups more for cornering, so he's probably sacrificed a bit of the BMW straight line speed as well with that. I'm gonna just quickly check in if I can. These guys exit this corner. There's a battle for the lead. It's a good thing that I checked this. So Swablu, 3/10 ahead of Thompson. You can literally see it. We're gonna go rear wing cam on this. This is once again everything heating up towards the end of the race. Tomsov looking to make the move to the inside, and it looks like he's gonna get it done. Fantastic move there by Tomsov. Took it to the inside, outbraked his opponent, and got it done. But will Swablu be able to counter-attack? Now he has the slipstream on the Mercedes. Swablu also has that bit of a penalty to contend with. But will Tomsov be able to win on home soil? The Mercedes looks good in the straights as well, so the BMW not as strong as we would have thought in that section. Oh, Swablu's sliding around! The tyres seem cooked. Oh, and by comparison, yes. Swablu, very limited for tyre life compared to Tomsoft. Tomsoft has played that perfectly. Will Swablu end up dropping into the clutches of Fred, dude? Is another interesting thing, because look at the tyre difference between these guys. How many laps do we have left? We've still got a significant amount of laps left. This is far from over for second. Possibly far from first, although look, Tomsoft is getting away. Swablu is in the dirty air as well, has sort of dropped out of his rhythm. And TSR Tomsoft takes the lead of the GTs. The main issue, I guess, for Fred Dude is, of course, that 2.1 second penalty he has to serve at some point. He might hope to get into slipstream range and then start chipping away at that penalty in the braking zones. I heard that braking a bit early for here, the NGK chicane, is quite a good place to remove some penalty. Doesn't choose to this time around. It's a good lift and coast spot as well. He's probably just charging to get into that slipstream range, as there's a little bit of shakiness further back. What on earth was going on there? Is that... I think that was just TKS lapping Y-Bear. .34 seconds the gap between first and second in category, and CJ has managed to reel in Splurge. 139.946 is the fastest lap, and it is set by that guy there, Crazy John. Look at that, the car going airborne and throwing up sparks. He's right there! He has closed in immensely, going onto the straight. This is where the Peugeot has the advantage, but CJ is well within the slipstream. The Peugeot using the Supra to its advantage. I don't know if he'll be able to go for it. He's looking for the inside. Oh, there's a little bit of contact between them. Splurge will have the inside for the Mercedes arena. And he's positioned CJ perfectly, so he can't get to the inside, but he does anyway. CJ to the inside, and he does take second place. The strategy has paid off in the end. It was a risk. It was a bold decision. Oh, Splurge is coming back at him! to the inside. They're still side by side. I think Splurge has to give that one up. He does so in the end. Not in a... like it was an illegal manoeuvre, of course, but just that he probably had to back. Oh, he's still looking for it! And this is the section where the Peugeot shines. The uphill, through the Schumacher S. Rear wing cam, although it looks like Splurge has dropped back a bit. Ah, that's gonna cost him 4.8 seconds of penalty for CJ. That has to be got rid of somehow. But he is starting to get that gap up a bit, so he might be able to serve that at some point. As Fred Dude has managed to get ahead of Swablu meanwhile. It looked like it may have been a turn 1 manoeuvre. I'm going to quickly see if we can get it. It looked like it only just happened. Here it was. Fred Dude was in the slipstream. We know the Hyundai is extremely good on the straights to the inside. And Swablu, difficult to defend. Tried the cutback, to be fair to him. How's that duel continuing? It is indeed Fred Dude ahead. It'll be difficult for Swablu to fight back. The tyres at the front are getting more and more cooked. But he's still within slipstream, and that's crucial. Will Fred Dude actually be released into potentially closing down Tomsoft to the win? 2.7 seconds the gap. What's the tyre life difference? Not much in it, but Fred Dude is looking a little bit better off for it. A bit further down the order, Wybear still has 4th place in category. Groot is 5th. Joe is up to 6th. So apologies we've missed that one, but Joe did manage to get past D-Luck. He wasn't biding his time. The gap is now, there you can see, 2.9 seconds. And CJ has managed to get the gap up to this guy, Splurge, to around 3 seconds. He's broken slipstream significantly, although the Peugeot gaining on the straights regardless. But CJ needs to get a bit more, because he keeps racking up. Look, 5.8, it keeps going up. And there again, very marginal. The game might count that. He's got to be so careful. He's sliding his way around on the exit of the Mercedes arena. If you're enjoying the action, be sure to leave a like. It was a bit of a slow burn to begin with, but things definitely heating up. Wybear sticks to the racing line. CJ serves a little bit of the penalty through there, with a Dunlop hairpin. He's getting to a point where he might be able to serve it, but not quite enough, and he's running out of laps. Perhaps if Splurge catches Wybear at an awkward area of the circuit, which it seems he might be, that could be very awkward, as Wybear actually clipped the gravel on corner exit. I'm just leaving a bit of extra space for the LM car to go through. TKS on their second to last lap already through the Mercedes arena. A very dominant display by them, perhaps expected given it is a very hybrid strong track. Nevertheless, CJ does have the fastest lap, and we haven't really seen, of course, besides the lag issue, any real mistakes from TKS. No doubt that incident will probably be looked at with the stewards regardless. 2.1 seconds of penalty for Freddude to serve. Crucially, he's managed to gap Swablu by more than that. 3 seconds up the road is the GT category leader, TSR Tomsa. Not long to go now. We're already past the hour mark, actually. It does run a little bit over the hour clock, because of course we have the formation lap to take into account. That takes quite a few minutes. But it does work out to around an hour. We had the first MD call of the season, but the safety car was not called. No doubt there'll be plenty of debate over my race directing skills regarding that. Cutting the grass goes CJ, and he has managed to get the gap that he needs. 6 seconds with 5.4 of penalty. Splurge, I don't know if he'll be able to quite do enough. Thing is, if CJ doesn't serve it, that 5.4 gets rounded up to 6. So the smarter thing to do would be to serve it. But we'll have to see. That could possibly be an increase to the penalty. He's serving it in places. I hope the game's determined he lost time on that occasion. The gap has come down between him and TKS. 27 seconds. But what a very dominant display has been from car number 7 today. Anyone would think this is real life. The World Endurance Championship. Making their way through the final sector. Just the NGK chicane to go. And then Coca-Cola. Nice and conservative. Doesn't even cut the curbs at all. The final corner. It is going to be Toyota Gazoo Racing taking the first win of the season. It is Mr. TKS taking the win in the LM category. Congratulations to them. But is there another twist in the tail? CJ. Oh no! Oh God, I need to shut up. I need to shut up. He's gonna have to serve this. He's gonna slow down. Here it is, the serve. Where is Splurge? He's making his way through the corner. I think CJ's got it. He does indeed have second place. And Splurge has to settle for third on this occasion. The GTs, they're making their way around. It is going to be a home victory for TSR Tomsoft and the Simpac X Oreo team. Congratulations to them on a fantastic result. It is going to be Freddude taking second place after a win at Monza. That is incredible form in the opening rounds of the season by Freddude. Well done to them. And Swablu will take the final step on the GT podium. Ybear takes 4th place, benefiting from mistakes of others. Groot, they've made a mistake themselves. What has happened? They're not out of fuel. They've just seemed to run wide out of the NGK chicane, just chucking the car. But they have maintained 5th place. They come across the line. A recovery drive after a very unfortunate incident sees the Joe 2 guy picking up points for 6th place, and then an incident themselves they were involved in. D-Luck comes home in 7th in category. But congratulations to both TKS and Tomsoft on a fantastic race and fantastic victories. Whew, that was a spicy one indeed. Let's save the replay data on that. No doubt that will get some use. Yep, that's saved properly. So TKS and Tomsoft are race winners. Here are the race results. It was 29.443 seconds in the end. TKS won over Crazy John, with Splurge only a couple or so seconds further behind CJ. I just couldn't quite hold on as CJ was on those fresher tyres. That strategy really did work out for CJ. In the end, they got fastest lap, 1:39.946, set on lap 31. The GTs saw TSR Tomsoft take the victory, of course, on home soil in the Mercedes AMG GT3. Congratulations to them. Bit of a margin there over Fred Dude, who did eventually come home to finish second and will more than likely lead the championship. Will do, of course, bar any penalties. I don't think I saw anything out there that Fred did. So more than likely, championship leader Fred Dude. And Swablu there, taking the final step of the podium. Wybear just finishing off the podium in 4th place. Groot was looking stronger towards the first half of the race, again seemed to fade off in the second half. Seemed to be caught out as Wybear managed to get past them. They finished in 5th. The Joe2 guy, again, salvaged what they could from this. It was 6th place in the end for them, and D-Look, again, not much they could have done in those circumstances after that incident. Well, that pretty much concludes things here in the Nukeshot Endurance Series for round 2 of the season. Pro Split, of course. Join us next week for AM Split. No doubt there'll be even more action to come as those guys take to the track. From all of us here at Nukeshot Media, namely me, because it is just me here today, we hope you've enjoyed. Again, be sure to leave a like if you have enjoyed. Consider subscribing to be notified of when the streams start for every other race happening this season, including next week. Again, from all of us here, I've been Zokeo, and we will see you in a week's time. Bye, folks.